Anti-Afro Spingalis. Listen, everyone, I was thinking I was going to wait until the end of the week to do my update on the Derek Chauvin trial. You know, the police officer on trial for the death of George Floyd, facing murder/manslaughter charges. But no, people, I had to come on here. I don't know how many of you really listen closely to the motions, the hearings I do. I'm telling you, people, yesterday was brutal. Was brutal because this person that was in the car, one of the people that was in the car with George Floyd when he was, stopped, pulled out of there, and all this situation occurred, he had gone on TV and did these interviews. Well, more was revealed as time went on that this person has quite an extensive criminal history. And the defense for this Derek Chauvin is fighting tooth and nail to get him on the witness stand to testify. So the judge has ruled they can't hear the police interview of this person, who, by the way, had taken off, had given false names and all that. I'm not here to beat up this guy about his criminal record, his active criminal record, and he's non-reformed. I'm not even going there. That is not the point of why I'm doing this video. I'm pointing out the message. He was attention seeking. Isn't it interesting? People who get caught up with fraud, nefarious, and criminal behavior, they still have this craving for attention. And let's make sure we are clear. It doesn't make a difference whether or not you have been officially caught up in the system, because this dude has been caught up how many times? The attention, the craving, the seeking of approval is what I'm talking about. So much so, you'll go to the ends of the earth to get it. And in this situation, it's attention you never, ever bargained for, that you never imagined that you would get. And this is a situation this Maurice Hall has now found himself in. This is a situation that most people find themselves in when they go about attention seeking and they're dishonest and they're fraudulent. It catches up. So this dude is in a situation now where, hey, you can call people whatever name you want to call them, snitches and rats and flunkies and agents. When it comes down to it, 95+% of all criminal cases result in a plea bargain. Relative few numbers actually go to trial, which means somebody has agreed to exchange information for leniency. I have no problem with that. Anybody who does is a fool, because most people would indeed do the same thing. You want to go sit in prison for the rest of your life? Fine, go ahead. I'd rather not even have to deal with a situation like that. Nonetheless, let me go on. This dude is now in a situation where he can't even get a deal struck. He bargained for something he never ever imagined would materialize. He's on a world stage. Now, a world stage means different things. That means whatever sphere you're known in. It doesn't have to be a world stage, literally a world stage. You can be on a world stage when you live in a community of 500 and you're engaged in this type of behavior. You can be on a world stage when you're in a sector and everybody knows what the hell you're doing. It's a relative term. But in this situation, we know what we're talking about when we say a world stage. Literally a world stage. Now, he's had all these arrests. You see it. You talk about a buyer beware. He's used to the same old routine, getting caught, going to jail, having bond, probably not very much money to post. And if so, You can bet plenty of people were willing to put that up for him. What do you think the situation is for him now? Pretty grim, because he can't even come up with $2,500. All the different drug and sex trafficking activities he was involved with, he had no trouble making bail, but he's not able to do it now. You do the math. On a world stage, nobody wants to deal with this dude now that he's been fully exposed. And everybody knows what he has been up to. Not just that, the law enforcement agencies of the world have their eyes on him. Not just the local police, the entire world. Who do you think wants to come and rescue this dude? Absolutely no one. So in jail, he remains. And he's completely freaked out. But the biggest problem is he can't even strike a deal with the prosecutors in this case. And the prosecutors in his case, they're not dropping any charges. He's involved with so many different types of criminal behavior, sex trafficking, that have nothing to do with George Floyd. The situation that George Floyd was in. And the defense attorney for this officer is going for very specific information that's going to, he believes, boost his client's case. And let me tell you about, you're going to be shocked, I'm going to say something, the dirty prosecution for this case. The prosecution for the Derek Chauvin case is showing its dirty hand. They are refusing to offer this man any immunity. No immunity. Let me get clear on Fifth Amendment. You can use the Fifth Amendment if it's going to potentially lead to self-incrimination. You can't use the Fifth Amendment if it's going to incriminate someone else. So he can testify if it's about what George Floyd was doing, but if it involves something he contributed, that's different. So that's something the judge is going to have to work out. He's already decided they can't use his interview with the police where he was lying through his teeth. This is Maurice Hall. Other areas they're working on. But let me tell you, when I say the dirty prosecutor, I'm going to tell you why I'm saying the dirty prosecutor. This prosecution is scared. And it dawned on me when I was listening to this motion. I was like, this is not looking good for the prosecution, because what they're doing, they're using this Maurice Hall as a trump card. We are going to convict someone in this case. If this doesn't pan out for this ex-officer, Chauvin, if we're not able to stick it to him, damn it, we're going to get somebody. If we're not able to get those other officers, they're going to be on trial for less serious charges. Obviously, they're worried, people. This is the person they are going to come after. So they're not going to sit up here and offer immunity for someone that they're going to gun for if they don't get any conviction. And not just that, if they don't land the conviction that they're satisfied with. And when I say satisfied with, they know the community is going to be up in arms if the community doesn't feel these convictions. Let's say they're going to be convicted. I'm just pushing ahead. But it's manslaughter. That is not going to be good enough for this prosecution. This prosecution wants to prevail on all three charges. And if they don't, this is who they're coming for, this Maurice Hall person. There is no way. Now, that prosecutor stood up there yesterday. This was some dirty crap that he pulled, acting as though he was promoting the best interest of this Maurice Hall, and he barely could even get the words out. I knew what he was up to. This is dirty, people. This is the lesson you need to make sure you're getting. You get involved with dirty dealings. It doesn't matter whether or not you've been caught. Eventually, it's going to bite you in the ass. And it could be a situation where you don't have any escape route. People make their choices, but let me tell you something, the best way to avoid situations like this, and I'm not talking about mistakes in life. Cast out mistakes in life. Everybody makes mistakes in life. We're talking about calculating persistent criminal and or fraudulent deceptive behaviors. If you make that a way of life, you absolutely will put yourself in a position where you indeed have no escape route. It may not happen to you today. It may not happen to you tomorrow. Guaranteed, it's going to catch up. And if you associate with people who live like this, you are going to be caught up. There is no escaping guilt by association. Isn't it much easier not having to explain yourself if you don't have any association? Think about it, people. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.